guys, good morning and welcome to another Alpha Guide FX market analysis. We're gonna start reviewing yesterday's trade, another winner for the week. If you remember when we were doing the call, I entered a USDJPY trade, right? Because it was definitely going to melt away from our entry, and it was like a very strong fundamental and technical trade. So this was the original order, right? In AUDJPY2. AUDJPY was executed overnight, I think. No, it was deleted overnight. I deleted at the end of yesterday's session, so it was not executed. And USDJPY, at the end, I executed on this rejection candle on the 15-minute, right? When we were doing the call. So I executed here, it went over 1 hour in profit, then it came back, and then on New York Open, it went straight to our take profit. So short market order, green call, entered due to analysis, and also shooting star candle printed on the 15-minute during London, gave over 1 hour, and then pulled back before New York Open. To then just continue down to the down move with speed. Result plus 2 hours. So what I want to say about this is this pullback, right? This pullback can, I know for a fact that many of you move your stop loss at break even when you are 1 hour or more in profit, right? What's the thing with this? That usually when you have a directional move during the day, a pullback is highly probable that it happens before New York continuing the move, right? We start our trade during London, and that's a healthy pullback, right? That's when you usually enter into the trade, right? So for those of you that adjust the stop loss that fast, this was a break-even trade, and you have many break-even trades. There's a fact about trading that is you are not going to be consistently profitable until you embrace the risk you take, right? You have to accept the risk. What I mean by this is like you open a trade, the risk of that trade, you have to consider it already lost, right? And you say, hey, how are you going to consider that? Bad by visualization, blah, 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 blah. No, it's a matter of you being okay with that being taken out of your account, because that's the risk you are taking. So once you have accepted that, you have no rush to adjust your stop loss, right? And then you're only going to adjust your stop loss when there's something really strong requesting that. For example, the market structure show you a clear lower high, right? So you say, okay, if the market comes back and breaks that lower high, in this case that is a short, then I want to be out of the trade because I know that it's a reversal indication. Okay, that is logical and based upon facts, right? You are seeing the lower high, right? But else, only because it moved a little bit in your favor, that makes usually no sense, and you're very probable to get taken out at break even. Okay. So now let's move on to today's analysis. We're gonna start with the economic calendar, right? So here was yesterday's trade, 2 hours for us, +4 on the week. What do we have for today on our economic calendar? I don't know why I included the title on the dates. Let's do this. First step. All right, so we already had our impact news for AUD and JPY, bad for AUD, good for JPY. That would support our yesterday's trade, right? Then we have 11 euro unemployment rate. And 230 we have, you see that it has a question mark, right? You know why that is? It's because of the government shutdown. We went over yesterday, and it's very probable that it's not going to be published, the financial report. Why? Because they're not working. Period. They are. I understand that all the governmental organizations, departments, are working with the minimum staff or are not working. So yeah, I don't think that's going to be published. Anyway, at 11 we have euro unemployment rate. That's a good injection of volatility for the euro. I'm bearish on the euro, but with this thing affecting the USD, I'm not that bearish, right? Okay, now let's move on to our relative strength analysis. That's not it. Let's go here. What do we have for today? Crypto is green. Oh no, 114. No, that's not correct. Right? Why was that? You saw that, right? It was so, I don't know, strange. Anyway, so we have 118 and it already hit 119 BTC. So we may be resuming an uptrend. I'll go over that on the swing analysis. Okay. So what do we have for today? Euro almost fully green. New Zealand dollar, the strongest. That's gonna be a hard trade to find. We're already +2 during the week, so we don't need to force absolutely anything. +2, no, +4. +4% or 4 hours. It depends on how much you risk. Me, in my case, I risk 1% per trade. So +4% on 3 days. It's a really good partial result for the week. So we have strongest NZD by far, followed by USD. Both were downtrending hard, so I don't see that. JPY is kind of weak. Why? That's JPY the weakest. That's weird, right? Okay, let's put JPY. I don't know why JPY is the weakest today. It shouldn't. It definitely shouldn't. And AUD is partially strong. Why? Interesting. Things are getting interesting. Now let's move on to Dixie analysis. Sorry, guys. Okay. Dixie analysis. Okay, let's go from top to bottom. Where are we on the weekly? We are bearish on the week. Monthly, we're just starting the monthly. To the tick, right? Okay. Still looks bearish to me. Just look at yields. Yesterday they had like a very bearish day. The dollar didn't reflect that. And today we are kind of a little bit green. But I assume it's gonna move down later. So I'm expecting bearishness for the dollar. Yeah. Look how fast it turned almost red here. GBP turning green. Euro. Let's put that into our USD, GBP and Euro. Strongest USD, no, USD is not. Euro and GBP. Sorry, I don't know why I put the dollar in the previous one. Clearly it's New Zealand, Euro, and GBP in that order. So let's check again. Oh, hell yeah. I'm definitely bearish on the dollar. Definitely. I want to see where we're heading to. Right here. Okay. Okay. So let's put the screen capture like this. This is the same scenario as yesterday, if you don't remember, when I spoke about the reason why the yields were up and the dollar were down, and it's because again, up potential sell-off, potential bond sell-off, lack of international trust USD ecosystem. All right. So basically, that's what I spoke yesterday, right? The lack of when there's a bond sell-off, yields go up, right? Because bonds go down. But that does when yields go up, usually the dollars goes up too, and vice versa, right? But the thing is that no, vice versa, no, it's because the yields are the ones attracting investors to the dollar, right? But here the yields are going up only because people are removing their capital from bonds because they are not trusting the current economic situation of the states. And the dollar is also going down because people are selling dollars, right, at the same time. So that is a very specific scenario. And I think that's what's currently happening. It's not, we're not going to see a dollar appreciation because yields are going up anytime soon. Unless, of course, they reach a deal and suddenly the shutdowns get solved. Okay, let's move on to market structure. NCD, JPY, Euro, and GBP, JPY. Okay, let's check. That's kind of weird, guys. NCD, JPY, Euro, JPY, GBP, JPY. It's kind of weird because JPY was being, let's see here. JPY was being having a tailwind, right, from this dollar situation. But okay, so let's start with NCD JPY, right? NCD JPY. We're looking to long. Wow, look at this. It is actually long. I knew it. I knew it. Let's put this on the hourly. Hourly going up. Here is the 4-hour breaking up structure to the upside, and here we're still bearish, right? Okay. All right. So now we are getting into a higher time frame, high quality stabilizer right here. Look at this. Kind of difficult to show to go long around here, right? Look at this candle. We have here a rally, demand area. All right, let's put this here. I don't usually go against the higher time frame trend, so I'm not making an exception for today. Even more, we are 4 hours in profit for the week. We don't need to force any kind of trade. Okay, this one I'm gonna close it because I already NZDJPY. no trade. I don't even look for entries, right? Because that's tempting. And when you look for something, you may find it. So now let's go to Euro JPY. No, Jose, no way. Just recovering from a huge meltdown. Maybe that's why today yen is a little bit weak, is because it's the pullback of yesterday's huge move. So actually, if you pay attention a little bit, it bounces from a demand zone right down here. So we're gonna keep an eye on it, but yeah, but now currently we are in a supply zone, and yeah, that has already been served by this one. So yeah. Let's see for the moment. GJ. Let's check GJ, baby. SMA would be almost the same, yeah. Same as even. Same, same. Same, but different. Sometimes there is no easy trade. And when there's no easy trade, you know what? You don't trade. You don't force. Just don't trade. Just don't trade. Okay, no trades for today. Let's put exactly why. So sit on hands. So sit on hands. Period. Let's put up there. Today is the 2nd of October. And that's it, guys. That's it. Take care. Stay sharp. Be enough at everything you do. And do yourself a favor. Don't sit in front of the screens, because at some point in time, you're going to find something that will make sense for you, but it's not going to be a high probability, and you're going to end up losing your hard-earned money. All right? Take it from somebody that lost a lot of money in the early days and learned about it. Okay? Have a great day, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.